Every desire you hold can crystallize into form far faster than you imagine, because the true engine of manifestation is not time, but consciousness. What appears to take days, weeks, or months in the physical world can unfold in hours when you learn to operate from the inner dimension where everything already exists. The moment you accept the reality of your desire internally, you set a law in motion that bends circumstances, people, events, and opportunities into alignment with what you have claimed as yours. Time does not create, consciousness does. And when consciousness shifts instantly, your world begins rearranging instantly. To manifest in 24 hours or less, you must understand a simple truth. Your desire is not approaching you from the outside. You are approaching the version of yourself who already has it. And the fastest way to merge with that version is to feel the end is real, right now, not tomorrow, not later, not once you figure out how. The how is irrelevant. The state is everything. The how belongs to life. Your only responsibility is to occupy the state of the fulfilled wish so completely that your mind has no room to argue against it. Close your eyes and imagine what you would feel if your desire were already completed. Not what you would do, what you would feel. A single feeling held with sincerity is more powerful than any long ritual or complicated technique. Step into the relief, the gratitude, the satisfaction, the calm certainty that comes when something is already worked out for you. Let your breathing slow. Let your body soften. Let the scene become so vivid in your imagination that it begins to feel more real than the world around you. That is the seed, and when planted with emotion, it grows quickly. Do not confuse effort with effectiveness. Manifesting rapidly requires relaxation, not tension. The more you try, the more you delay. But the more you allow, the more you accelerate. Let your desire fall into the deep soil of imagination and trust that the unseen forces already know exactly how to deliver it. Once you have felt the end, your work is complete. The seed is already planted. Anything you do afterward is simply living as the one who knows it is done. Many people delay their desire because they keep checking for signs of whether it's coming. When you plant a seed, you don't dig it up every hour to check if it has sprouted. You trust the process. You water it with calm expectation. Do the same with your desire. Manifestation within 24 hours happens when you stop searching for proof and start embodying the proof. You walk differently. You breathe differently. You speak differently. Not because you're pretending, but because you know. Certainty has a frequency, and it collapses delay. That shift within you creates a ripple through the invisible layers of reality. Someone calls you. An opportunity appears. Money flows from an unexpected place. A situation changes. A message arrives. A door opens that you did not even know existed. None of it is coincidence. All of it is alignment. When you change states, the world reorganizes around your new identity. You are not manifesting in 24 hours. Your 24 hours are revealing who you already decided to be. The moment you choose the end in imagination, the clock begins ticking toward its physical expression. Life rushes to meet the version of you who has already accepted the blessing. So claim your desire now. Feel it as done. Step into the version of yourself who already holds the manifestation in their hands. And let life respond with speed, precision, and brilliance. Manifestation is not a waiting game. It is an acceptance game. And once you accept fully, time becomes your servant. When you understand that consciousness is the only true cause behind every outcome, the urgency you once felt dissolves. You no longer wait for something to happen. You invite it by assuming the feeling of its presence. The speed at which your manifestation arrives is determined by the depth of your acceptance. If you accept lightly, it arrives lightly. If you accept deeply, it arrives deeply and quickly. Your inner conviction is the only clock the universe listens to. There is a subtle art to this acceptance, an art that becomes effortless when you realize you don't need to create anything. You are simply selecting the version of reality where your desire is already complete. Every possibility exists right now. All outcomes exist simultaneously. The one you choose becomes the one you experience. So choose with intention. Choose with love. Choose with confidence. That choice is your power. Many people believe that manifestation requires intensity, but in truth, it requires clarity. Clarity cuts through doubt. Clarity removes resistance. Clarity opens the door to immediate alignment. When you know exactly what you want, and you feel exactly how it feels to have it. You activate a frequency that matches your desire without friction. And when there is no friction, time collapses. Think of a moment in your life when something happened unexpectedly, yet perfectly. You did not prepare for it. You did not force it. It simply showed up in your path as if guided by an unseen intelligence. That same intelligence is always present, always ready, always listening to the silent instructions of your inner state. It hears your assumptions more loudly than your words. It responds to your self-concept more faithfully than your prayers. It does not wait for days or weeks to deliver. It delivers the moment you align with the version of yourself who is ready to receive, to manifest in 24 hours or less. The first shift is always internal. You must stop seeing your desire as something separate from you and start experiencing it as something already within you. Imagine holding the result. Imagine celebrating it. Imagine the relief, the joy, the certainty. Imagine your life after it arrives. Allow these inner experiences to become natural, habitual, familiar. Familiarity is power. What is familiar becomes your reality. You move through your day, carry this inner knowing with gentle ease, not with the heaviness of trying, but with the lightness of being. The energy of being is effortless. It does not grasp or chase or question. It simply exists in alignment. When you live from this place, your thoughts soften, your emotions stabilize, and your actions become inspired rather than forced. You speak from the end. You think from the end. You respond from the end. And the world responds by matching your inner script. You may notice synchronicities that show you the universe is rearranging things rapidly. A conversation you overhear, a message you receive, an opportunity you had not even fathomed. These are not random events. They are reflections of your new state. As you shift inward, the outer world follows because it has no choice. It is your mirror, and mirrors do not create images, they reflect them. Your assumptions carry tremendous power. One assumption held consistently for even a few minutes can override years of conflicting beliefs. If you assume that you will receive a blessing within 24 hours, life becomes obligated to arrange itself in alignment with that assumption. Not because the world is magical, but because your consciousness is the director of your experience. Whatever state you occupy, the world must express. If doubt appears, do not fight it. Fighting doubt only strengthens it. Instead, gently return to the feeling of fulfillment. Remind yourself that you are not commanding the world to change. You are allowing your inner world to choose a new version of reality. The outer must follow. This is not force, this is law. Your imagination is the creative center of your existence. Everything you have ever achieved, everything you have ever received, first lived in your imagination as a seed. That seed grew into reality through your feelings, your beliefs, your assumptions. When you imagine with intensity and emotion, you send a command to the deeper part of your consciousness, your creative power, that this is the experience you want to live. That deeper self then orchestrates the outer world, stitching together events with perfect timing. There is no limit to what can manifest quickly. Money, opportunities, messages, breakthroughs, clarity, connections, answers, everything is available because everything already exists. You are never creating from nothing. You are selecting from the infinite. You are tuning your consciousness like a radio. When the frequency matches, the manifestation appears. If you want a specific amount of money within 24 hours, imagine holding it. Feel the weight of it. Feel the excitement or relief it brings. Imagine seeing it in your hand, your bank account, your wallet. Do not wonder where it will come from. Do not assign the universe a method. Methods create limitations. Your only job is to accept the outcome. Life will handle the channel. If you want a message or call from someone, imagine reading it. Imagine hearing the sound of their voice. Imagine the joy or peace it brings. Feel it as if it has already happened. This inner experience plants the seed, and the seed must bloom. The person you think of may feel intuitive nudge to reach out, or circumstances may shift to bring you into contact. This is not manipulation. This is alignment. If you want clarity or guidance, imagine yourself already having the answer. Feel the calm certainty. Feel the relief that comes from knowing exactly what to do. The clarity will come in the next thought, in the next moment, in a conversation, in a sign, in a quiet whisper from within. Answers manifest as quickly as you allow them to. The key to fast manifestation is to eliminate the emotional gap between wanting and having. Wanting creates distance. Having creates realization. You must feel the desire as fulfilled, even before you see the physical evidence. Evidence does not create belief. Belief creates evidence. Every time you enter the feeling of having, even for a moment, you accelerate the manifestation. Every time you release worry, you accelerate it again. Every time you trust, you multiply the speed. And every time you declare that it is yours now, the universe echoes your declaration in form. Your imagination is not just a mental space. It is the blueprint of your future. What you rehearse in imagination becomes rehearsed in reality. The more vividly you imagine, the faster the blueprint becomes a building. Picture your manifestation as clearly as possible. Embrace the emotion with sincerity. Then release it with trust. You do not need to remain in the state all day. Even a few minutes of deeply felt acceptance can shift your entire reality. What matters is not the duration, but the intensity. One moment of true alignment is enough to produce rapid results. As you go about your day, act with natural confidence, not forced confidence, but the calm confidence that arises when you know something is already yours. A person who knows they are wealthy acts differently than one who hopes to become wealthy. A person who knows they are loved acts differently than one who hopes to be loved. Embody the version of yourself who already lives in the fulfilled state. Reality bends to identity. When you shift who you believe yourself to be, you shift everything around you. If your identity says, I effortlessly manifest miracles within hours, then your world matches that identity. Circumstances obey the state you occupy. Time becomes fluid. Opportunities accelerate. Favor amplifies. You begin to notice that people treat you differently. Situations respond differently, and life itself rises up to meet you with a swiftness that feels almost supernatural. But it is not supernatural. It is simply the natural response of a world shaped by consciousness. Whenever impatience arises, remind yourself that the desire is already yours in the unseen. The delivery is unfolding perfectly. There is no delay. The delay is only perceived when you believe you must wait. Replace waiting with knowing. Replace hoping with assuming. Replace wanting with accepting. Your assumption is a command. Your emotion is the fuel. Your imagination is the blueprint. Your trust is the bridge. And your state is the magnet. In the silence of your mind, declare your desire fulfilled. Feel the energy shift. Feel the reality reshape. Feel the inner click that tells you it is done. And once you feel that click, even if it lasts for a single breath, your manifestation is already on its way. Life is not slow. Consciousness is not slow. Manifestation is not slow. Only doubt is slow. Only disbelief is slow. When you step into certainty, speed becomes effortless. When you embody the end, it must reach you. The moment you choose the state, the universe begins rearranging itself with astonishing precision. You may not see the rearrangement immediately, but it is happening behind the scenes. People are being moved. Opportunities are being aligned. Paths are being cleared. The solution is forming with exact timing. Hold your inner knowing with calm assurance. The outer world will reveal it in perfect order. And when it arrives, you will feel as though it was always meant for you, because it was. The desire came to you because its fulfillment was already written within you. You are not waiting for miracles. You are activating them, not in days, not in weeks, but in the next breath, the next moment, the next hour. Your consciousness is the architect of your 24 hours. If you desire a breakthrough, an answer, a solution, a shift, imagine the moment after it arrives, not the moment it is unfolding, but the moment it is finished. Feel the calm that washes over you. Feel the clarity that replaces confusion. Feel the relief that signals completion. This is the secret that compresses time. When you imagine from the end, you bypass delays. You bypass doubts. You step into the version of reality where the problem has already dissolved. The mind often tries to understand how something can manifest so quickly, but the mind is not designed to understand the infinite. It is designed to observe what has already been created. The creative force lies deeper than thought, within imagination, emotion, and belief. When these three align, manifestation becomes inevitable, not because the universe must obey you, but because you and the universe are not separate. Your inner world is the blueprint for your outer world. And when that blueprint changes, the physical must reshape itself to match. Manifesting in 24 hours or less is not about speed, it is about alignment without hesitation. Most people do not receive quickly because they constantly interrupt their manifestations with contradictory thoughts, fears, or assumptions. They plant a seed of desire, then immediately uproot it by saying, "What if it doesn't happen?" Or "I don't see anything yet." This internal conflict slows the process. But once you stop interfering and simply allow the desire to be fulfilled inwardly, the outer world responds with surprising speed. The feeling of already having your desire is the magnet that draws everything into place. When you embody that feeling, you emit a vibrational signature that resonates with the reality you want. This resonance communicates with the unseen layers of existence, summoning the path, people, and timing that bring your desire into form. It is not magic, it is alignment. And alignment always produces manifestation. As you move through your day, hold your fulfilled desire gently in your heart. You do not need to obsess over it. You do not need to think about it every minute. You simply need to remain open, receptive, and confident that it is already unfolding. Relax into the certainty that something good is coming. Something beautiful is arranging itself in your favor. That relaxation is a powerful signal to the universe. It says, "I trust. It is done." Trust accelerates manifestation because trust removes resistance. Resistance is what slows things down. Fear, doubt, impatience, these create friction. Trust dissolves friction. And without friction, manifestation arrives smoothly and quickly, often in ways you could never predict. Life becomes synchronistically generous when you stop doubting your inner power. Imagine for a moment what your life would look like if you stopped assuming that big desires take time. Imagine if you allowed yourself to believe that the universe is always ready, always prepared to deliver, once you align with certainty. Imagine the freedom in knowing you do not have to wait months or years. You can shift your inner state in a moment, and life can shift with equal speed. Your subconscious mind responds instantly to the images you accept as real. It takes every assumption as a command, every emotion as instruction. When you imagine vividly and feel deeply, you activate this inner power with remarkable force. The subconscious then begins arranging the outer world to mirror the inner image. It does not care if what you imagine is realistic or possible. It only responds to belief. This is why manifesting in 24 hours is not about forcing reality. It is about convincing your subconscious that the manifestation is already complete. Once the subconscious accepts it, the world reorganizes itself. People call it luck, fate, alignment, divine timing, or coincidence. But in truth, it is a direct expression of your inner conviction. There is a moment, subtle yet transformative, when your desire shifts from a hope to a certainty. When this happens, something changes in your energy. You no longer question whether it is coming. You simply know it is coming. And because you know it is coming, you naturally act, speak, think, and feel from that knowing. This is the moment manifestation accelerates beyond what you previously believed possible. To reach that moment, you must allow yourself to feel worthy of receiving. Worthiness speeds manifestation because worthiness removes self-imposed delays. When you know you deserve what you desire, you stop pushing it away with doubt. You stop expecting disappointment. You stop shrinking your dreams to fit your old identity. Instead, you rise into the version of yourself who is aligned with your manifestation. This version of you does not beg or chase. This version of you does not wait nervously for signs. This version of you does not question the process. This version of you simply accepts. Acceptance is the highest frequency of manifestation. Acceptance does not bargain. Acceptance does not fear. Acceptance does not need reassurance. Acceptance simply says it is done and allows life to respond accordingly. When doubts appear, and they will, treat them like small clouds drifting through the sky. Do not cling to them. Do not fight them. Simply observe them and let them float away. Return to your inner world, where your desire already exists. Return to the feeling that it is already yours. Return to the version of reality where everything is unfolding perfectly. Your imagination is not a place of escape, it is a place of creation. Everything you want already exists in the unseen dimension of your being. When you imagine it, you are not daydreaming, you are selecting, you are tuning, you are choosing the path your life will follow. And when your emotional state matches your chosen vision, manifestation becomes swift and effortless. Life is always responding to your dominant state of being. If your dominant state is lack, you will experience lack. If your dominant state is fear, you will experience fear. But if your dominant state is fulfillment, you will experience fulfillment. When your dominant state becomes, it is already mine, then manifestations begin to arrive with stunning speed. You may notice subtle shifts first, a feeling of ease, a wave of calm, a subtle assurance that your desire is on its way. These are the early signs that your vibration has changed. Shortly after, you will begin to notice physical shifts, small opportunities, unexpected messages, sudden connections, new ideas, inspired actions. These are the physical markers of an inner transformation. Then, almost without warning, the full manifestation arrives, sometimes quietly, sometimes dramatically, but always perfectly timed, always aligned with the version of you who believed it into existence. And when it arrives, you will realize that it was never about time. It was always about belief. Time only reflected the strength and clarity of your belief. The universe does not operate on human timelines. It operates on alignment. When alignment is complete, manifestation is immediate. When alignment is partial, manifestation is gradual. Your inner world determines the speed. So if you want your desires to arrive in 24 hours or less, you must become the person who believes that 24 hours is more than enough time. Your energy is your invitation. Your belief is your permission. Your imagination is your blueprint. Your assumption is your command. And your inner knowing is the magnet that draws your desire into physical form. You are not limited by your past experiences or your current circumstances. You are only ever limited by the assumptions you hold. Change your assumptions, and you change your reality. Change them deeply, and you change it quickly. Change them completely, and you experience what many call miracles, though they are nothing more than the natural expression of a mind aligned with its inner power. Manifestation is not reserved for the patient. It is reserved for the aligned. Once you realize this, you understand that 24 hours is not a restriction, but an invitation to step into your creative authority, an invitation to trust your inner world, an invitation to allow the universe to show you how responsive it truly is. You can manifest a message, a miracle, an opportunity, a shift, a transformation, a blessing, anything within 24 hours. Not because you are forcing reality, but because you are finally working with its deeper laws, laws that respond instantly to belief, laws that amplify whatever you assume, laws that operate beyond time. And when you master these laws, you step into a life where manifestation is no longer a distant dream, but a natural rhythm, a rhythm that flows from the inside out, a rhythm that responds to your certainty, a rhythm that makes the extraordinary feel effortless. And now you stand at the threshold of your own power, no longer hoping for change, but recognizing that the change begins within you the moment you decide it is done. You're not waiting for the universe to move. The universe is waiting for you to assume the end with certainty. Every desire already exists in the unseen, and the moment you claim it as your inner truth, life bends effortlessly to reflect it. So walk forward with quiet confidence, with the calm knowing that what you have accepted in imagination must appear in your reality. Do not chase anything. Do not question anything. Simply embody the version of yourself who already possesses the manifestation, and let life fulfill the role it was designed to fulfill. The power is in your assumption, the speed is in your belief, and the miracle is in your willingness to declare it done now. Your 24 hours begin the moment you choose to live from the end. Everything else is alignment.